Okay, so you guys got the Spider-Man book. Awesome. Favorite moments so far, Steve?
The issue,
and everyone,
the Spidey 600 issue he did was really thrilling. I never thought I was going to be, a guy who's able to stay in comics forever like Tom. We're just renting these chairs for a little while, and I figured this is the only time I'll ever get a chance to do a Spidey comic with 2 zeros in it. And we did a 104-page issue. It was all brand new. I got Stan to do a story with an artist he was over the moon about, and he left me a 20-minute message about it that was just, I played it every hour. Tom would start yelling at me, I would just play the message. I know somebody who loves me. And we did.
Steve, I don't want to disappoint you, but if you're at Marvel long enough, and Stan would make his yearly trip, and he'd speak to all the editors, and I swear to you, every time he'd say, "This is the best group of editors ever!"
No, that was worth taking the time, the blanket up from under me, Jim.
Anytime.
But working on that issue was a real honor for someone who's been reading these things since they were in single digit age-wise.
I mean, aside from what was in the comics, just meetings with the writers and artists, just to getting together and coming up with insane ideas, and it's great if it's plotting comic books in a restaurant or an hotel with people, because eventually someone will say, "And then we kill the entire state. There'll be bodies all over the place and nothing but blood." And somebody from another table looks at you and wonders whether they should call Homeland Security or something. Maybe one of my favorite moments was we had rented a conference room at a hotel for a Spider-Man creative conference, and we got a complaint from the accountants meeting next door. It was conveyed to us by the front desk that we're making too much noise. And I said, this is what I pray for, is that that my guys are jumping up and down on the table and making noise. So tell the accountants we're sorry, but we're not stopping. So that might have been my favorite creative moment.
Mine was after 9/11. We were already directly behind. Thank you, GMS, the writer. And 9/11 happened. A lot of us were at the Marvel office when it happened. So we were all shell-shocked. We kind of bonded around that, and then we got back to work a couple of days later, and we're just sitting around thinking, Spider-Man is integral to New York, and New York is a character. Spider-Man, it just seems very odd that we just go back to business as usual. So I called Straczynski, who's the writer of JMS, and said, don't you think it would be kind of odd for us not to say something? And he said, absolutely. The next day, literally the next day, I had the script from him. I got it, closed my door, put my feet out the window. I remember the old doctor read it. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away by it. It ended up being our black cover issue and the highest ordered comic book that year. And it was just one of these moments where I really felt like the writer had actually said something that touched a lot of people, whether they gave a shit about Spider-Man at all. So I'm very proud of that issue.
My proudest moment was when I hired Steve, so I didn't have to do any of the work.
One of the things I wanted to do was, I may have been insane, but I really felt one of the key things to Spider-Man was that soap opera type continuity. And by having multiple titles, each with their own continuity, I felt that it wasn't the best way to go. And then I was insane enough to think, no, it should just be one, storyline that continues from week to week. And I happened to be editor during the end of Jim Shooter's days, the beginning of Tom DeFalco's days. So my opportunity came when Jim was leaving and there was turmoil and no one was paying attention, and I was able to schedule one storyline, Kraven's Last Hunt, through all the titles. So, and my main reason for doing that was it just seemed that this story was so well done by Mark DeMatteis, Mike Sack, and Bob McLeod, that if at the end of one issue Spider-Man is buried alive And then you pick up next week, you know, the other Spider-Man title, and you have a caption, and this takes place after that. And I mean, everyone sort of already knows Spidey's not really going to die, but I felt for maximum impact for that story, just keep it going throughout all the titles. And the battles I had, you know, people said, oh, it would be a nightmare. The sales will get all confused, and on and on and on. I think that's the right way to go with Spider-Man.
Well, you actually didn't you do Spider-Man for more than once a month?
During the summer.
Yeah.
We did.
Bi-weekly doing.
We did buy books.
More than one in
Bi-weekly.
Well, I think what I did, I was like saying, well, what if we can? I was pushing the whole weekly thing, and I think Marvel was trying to do a weekly comic, and the feedback they got from I think newsstand distributors, and it made sense because the comics sold the best for them during the summer months. So they said, you know, who wants a weekly book during the winter from their point of view? You know, just come out with more of the books during the summer. And of course, this was, you know, usual last minute notice that, okay, now that you've caught up on your schedules, now we're doubling it during the summer. Good luck to you. And, but we pulled it off. It worked out well. I believe you're a moderator, Fred.
No, that's right. I'm just so enthralled by all of your stories.